Hello, excuse me. Can I interview you two for my YouTube channel?
Sure. Wait, what is it?
Yeah, ask what it's about first before you say yeah. It's about your feet and mental health.
My feet. Do I have to pull out my feet?
I mean, your feet are already out.
My toes, like, are my toes gonna be on YouTube?
They may be, if you say yeah. Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Because it's about mental health as well.
Okay, yeah.
To figure out, why you would or would not want to show your toes, Thank you, I appreciate it. You've been on YouTube before?
Well, we were at the beach and this guy comes up to us and he's like, oh, I want to ask you a couple questions. And he starts it off like basic and he's already recording us. And then he's like, does size matter? He's like a 17-year-old kid and we're like already on YouTube. And we found the video later. It was so awkward.
Really? Oh, okay.
Is that what you're going to do? Are you tricking us?
Tricking you? How would I trick you? I already told you what it's about. It's going to be an interview. If you don't like it, just tell me.
No, you can talk about your feet.
Actually, you know what? Let me sit opposite because I need to get that sunlight.
Wait. Flowing this way.
Exactly. Also, look at that ocean backdrop. So can I have you come a little forward a little bit more? Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Oh, there was a slip up. I'm trying to help you.
All right, that's perfect. All right, so what just happened just now? How did we get to this moment?
You asked us if we wanted to do an interview regarding our feet and mental health, and I asked if I had to pull my toes out.
Right.
Yes.
I didn't say no. I didn't say no. I said maybe.
You said maybe.
Yeah, there you go. I said maybe.
Your toes are already out. Your toes already.
All right, so why did you ask that question first? What was the first question that came up?
My toenails are not painted, and it was I think it's all that.
Okay. What about you? How do you feel about your feet?
Honestly, I love my feet.
You love your feet?
I've learned to grow and love my feet throughout the years.
Okay.
Before I used to hate them.
Really? How old are you? 23? So when did you start liking your feet?
Probably during college.
During college?
Yeah.
Did anything happen, experience that made you
It
feel...
was just like, everyone's opinion, these are my opinions.
Okay. Before that, you didn't like your feet?
Yeah, because I would be made fun of because of my feet.
Really?
Yeah.
What about them?
How, like, my toes were long, skinny.
Yeah. Okay, so did you get that mostly from men? No. Women? Women used to make fun of your feet? Really? Wow. So how did that make you feel?
I feel like this is so therapeutic right now.
That's what it's supposed to be, yeah. See, there's that mental health.
How did that make me feel?
Yeah.
I hated my toes. That's how it made me feel.
So you hated yourself
Yeah.
because
All
of
my
it.
toes.
Your toes. Well, it's a part of you. So, really? How did men feel about your feet?
I don't know.
You don't
I mostly got it from women.
know? Okay. So what about you?
I don't know.
Well, notwithstanding how you feel about your feet right now, how do you feel about your feet in general? Don't look at her.
Sorry,
she's not gonna get the answer. No, take your time.
I don't know. I feel like the same thing. Like I used to not like my feet more, but I feel like the older you get, the more you're just kind of like, why? Like, what's the point of caring about something you can't really change? Right. Like I always felt like my toes were just like stubby and like just there. But like no one ever made fun of me or anything. It's just how I felt. But
okay. Have you ever gotten compliments about your feet?
For my boyfriend, but boyfriend is supposed to compliment everything. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than your boyfriend, have you ever had compliments?
No. Well, but like if I have my toes cute or something, yeah. But people are just like, oh, there's some cute feet. Unless if they do, they're saying it because like my feet are just like baby feet. Like your feet are just like baby feet. Like that's like if some people are like, oh, you got cute little toes, but like I know what they're really saying. They're like, they look like you got some little baby stuff.
Not necessarily. I mean, they might be sincere and think you get really cute toes. You know? So how do you, okay, so when someone gives you a compliment about your feet, let's the compliment. How do you feel? Is it a good feeling or a bad feeling?
I feel like if I'm wearing sandals and someone comments on my toes, I'm like, you know when you like try to hide your feet, like you don't want someone looking. Like when people call attention to my feet, I don't like it. Like I try to, you know.
And it's because you think it's stubby. It's because the shape.
I kind of feel like it's just like habit. Like when someone calls attention to your feet, like if you're wearing sandals, like it automatically feels like an attack in a sense. You know? Like I don't know.
What about if they call attention to your eyes, or your hands, your lips? Would you feel the same way? No.
I don't really feel that way about other stuff. When people call attention to my feet, I'm like, why are you staring at my toes?
Okay.
Why are you down there? Exactly.
So how do you cope with that feeling? It's uncomfortable, right? Would you say it's uncomfortable?
It's uncomfortable, but we're older.
Okay, now that you're older, you're better able to cope with how you feel about yourself. How do you cope? Yeah.
So many different. I feel like that's such a question. One thing that I do though that does make me feel better about myself, which I don't know how, it's like really backwards, but my room has a bunch of mirrors in it. So like I could just constantly see myself, and I feel like if I'm feeling insecure, just like putting something on that makes me feel really comfortable, just like getting really comfortable with myself, and like if I'm by myself and I accept myself, I feel like that helps me feel better in public if other people are judging me, but like I've taken time to like really love myself. It doesn't affect me as much.
Okay. What about you? That's a good coping.
It's been a long journey coping.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like I cope just by like just learning how to love my body, working out, doing yoga, doing things that make me happy, make me feel good. It's been helping me cope.
Okay. That's good. So, how do you feel about guys who really like women's feet?
Not much.
Okay,
Fetish?
not necessarily a fetish.
Yeah, so
Let's say,
fetish
let me be more descriptive. Like a guy wants to give you a foot massage, rub on your. Wait, I'm not done yet. Rub on your feet, kiss on your feet, smell on your feet, lick on your feet. Those type of things.
Honestly,
First of all, my feet gotta be fresh, clean, and done.
yeah, like my man
Feel
can
you.
suck my toes in the bathtub. You know, like if it's like a certain vibe, but if we're just like on the couch and like, like that's weird.
Oh, yeah.
But like in a certain vibe, in a certain mood, like you know,
Okay.
acceptable.
What about you?
Same.
Same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
So you'd be receptive to it then? You'd be close off to
Depending on the environment, yes.
And depending on the person.
Okay, that's
it.
true.
Person.
Because we both have had like long-term relationships, like people that we're very comfortable with. You know, like I don't know if like on a first date, if a guy was trying to put my toes in his mouth, I might be like, hold on.
Even if he like asked you politely.
Yeah, even if you ask us,
Because most likely in a first date situation,
Mhm.
we're leaving from somewhere. Like we're leaving from dinner, we're leaving from somewhere, partying, dancing. Like,
Yeah.
Like you know, it's not even just like for them. Like if my feet been sweating all night, I'm not gonna put them in your mouth.
Okay. Some guys like that though.
but it's like my boundaries of what I will allow you to do with my body.
Right.
Because a lot of girls like, what if I was like, I want.
Oh come on, that's different. That's different. That's way different. That is way different. You just took it.
No, because I was like, that's what I like. Like,
That's different though. You're talking about.
it's extreme, but it proves my point. Of if
See,
a
I'm like,
person-
see, you're gonna have to make me cut that out because I can't put that on YouTube.
if a person's not comfortable.
Hear the beep.
Yeah.
Right?
Beeping.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm keeping PG, but I'm just saying.
Because I mean, that's more
Okay,
to a man. That's more like, you know,
It's
if you're a heterosexual man,
Yeah.
you know, most guys don't want that, you know.
So you're telling
As a
me you would
heterosexual
do
man.
anything other than like that, anything that felt, you know, homosexual.
Mhm.
You would do anything else that a woman wanted you to do. Like,
Depends on what it is.
like what if I was like, I wouldn't lick on your beard and chew on it? Like,
Yeah, why not? Like, okay, here's the question I would ask you.
like what if you be like, that's kind of weird?
If that's, but everybody's got their thing though. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? See, that's what I was going to ask you. What's the worst that could happen? You know, if it gives you pleasure, I've never experienced it before, but hey, it might be something I might like. You know what I'm saying?
This is a very open-minded person right
Because, okay,
Come chew on my beard.
here's how I got to this, because I wanted to ask you that, but now I'm glad you took me here. So my therapist gave me this idea about dialectical behavioral therapy. You guys have therapists by any chance?
I do.
You do?
She's looking though.
You're looking? Okay.
I'm available.
All right, so in dialectical behavioral therapy, like let's say you have a...
I'm actually a psychology major too.
Really?
So I recognize what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
about to
so
graduate next month.
Are you familiar with DBT or CBT? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll explain it. So if someone is suffering from anxiety, let's say they have a fear of approaching strangers. In DBT, they'll tell you to go out and actually approach strangers, put yourself in that position where you're basically going to feel those uncomfortable feelings. And when you start feeling those, let's say, negative emotions, you're supposed to do a self-assessment and ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? If there's not a threat to my health or a threat to my safety, then to act opposite to what those emotions push you to do so that you can get the most out of life and experience life to its fullest.
Wow, so it's basically like be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like an hour
Like,
ago.
you have to be uncomfortable to grow in life. Like,
Right.
that's the whole way.
I'll give you an example. Like, I used to be definitely afraid of roller coasters. As a child, I used to hate roller coasters. Just the feeling of falling, the idea of it was traumatic for me. And so I made myself get on a roller coaster. Six Flags Viper. Since then,
You took it right. I never even got on this.
Since then, I've been a roller coaster fanatic. I love roller coasters. I'm addicted to roller coasters. Just that feeling of being on a roller coaster. I'm like a little kid. You put me in front of a roller coaster, I'll start regressing back to it. Because, and if I had kept myself in my comfort zone, I would have never experienced that.
See, like skydiving. She doesn't want to skydive.
You want to skydive?
It's not because I'm afraid. It's because why? Why do I want to jump out of a plane? Like, I don't have that desire.
It's the thrill.
Listen, am I going to pay $150 for a thrill of jumping like...
I've never done it before, but I've been like kind of bungee jumping. At Six Flags they have that thing you swing. That's kind of like bungee jumping, but it's that free fall. Yeah, I liked it. It was scary, but it was fun.
I mean, if it was something that was necessary for me to do to grow, then I would. But like, I can die without skydiving. I'm not effective.
Yeah, well, but you understand the whole thing about DBT is about getting out of your comfort zone and making new experiences. And you're supposed to expect a pleasant experience. And also with DBT, you're supposed to keep a diary.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing I'm thinking of. I keep a journal.
Yeah, or a journal of your pleasant experiences once you do that self-assessment. So I said instead of doing like doing it by hand, I'll make a YouTube channel and I'll just document it by video. So yeah, it's called scouting sessions. So every interview I do is like it's like a therapeutic experience that other people can see and learn from. So what do you think about that?
I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. I think that's a good idea. I think other people should do it too, because it's always good to like keep track of your growth, like as you're progressing, and like also hold yourself accountable to things you
self-reflect.
say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a good self-development tool
Yeah.
that DBT teaches you. Anything from psychology you can help me with as far as like expand what I'm doing? Anything come to mind? I'll put you on the spot real quick.
No, but I want to know more about what you're doing, because I feel like I don't have, like, I do understand, but what is it that, well, I don't even know, like what am I trying to ask myself? What is your thing, talking to strangers? Like, is that why you're out here interviewing people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's your thing.
It's talking to strangers and seeing what your opinion is and your viewpoint is of guys who like women's feet. Because I'm one of those guys that like women's feet.
I was supposed to ask you, like, women's feet. Okay.
Right. And so this could be like, for some guys, that's something that's hard to talk about because feet are like kind of, sometimes it's considered taboo. A lot of guys are uncomfortable. They might get anxious talking to women about it. So that if they look at my videos, I can show them, hey, look, it's not that bad. You know, some women are going to be open-minded, some women are going to be closed-minded, so I get a variety of different reactions so they can anticipate what they can expect when talking to different women about the subject matter.
Well, I feel like if you're dealing with, because I feel like in any situation, like communication is like really key.
Yeah.
So I really feel like, and someone that's just like gonna like grab your feet and be weird is like weird, but I like being talked through things, like especially like experiences like with men. Like I like being told like, do you feel comfortable with this, and like having that like comfortable situation, you know, because I feel like that's everything. Like how I brought up long-term relationships.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not a long-term relationship, like I feel like just getting consent and like being comfortable and like creating a comfortable environment like just goes such a long way like with anything you're doing versus just like being aggressive. Because so many men just tend to be overly aggressive.
Yeah.
And also entitled in the bedroom with what they feel like they deserve and what they don't deserve, and also don't really know how to take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a big problem.
And their ego gets shot when it's a no, and it's just like,
And then you get angry.
Yeah. See, I've attended like sex positivity classes, and like we do exercises where we do exercise of consent. Like we have to go around and talk to people and like ask something that's sexual, request it, and purposely have the person say no. So you get used.
More men be there.
So you get used to.
especially like a lot of people in high school. Yeah, that's where, like that, I feel like that's where it starts, the root.
Yeah, we learn those bad habits.
Yeah, like in high school, like just being in that environment, they need to learn the word. They need to learn consent and the word.
Yes, consent is key,
Because
really.
they're very
Yeah.
entitled, especially when you're with other adults, like other people their age, hyping them up, telling them like, oh no, you're entitled to that. Like they feel entitled because other men tell them they're entitled to it. It's not because we tell them.
You feel like guys feel like they're entitled to certain things?
Yes.
Like what?
Yes.
That's a fact.
Really?
Yes.
Very entitled.
Yes.
Such as what? Give me an example.
Sexually.
PG, YouTube PG.
Okay. PG. Is that PG?
Well, PG-13.
I can say sexually?
Yeah, PG-13.
Okay, so sexually, and I'm not saying every man, like I'm not trying to generalize, but
Yeah.
it definitely has been proven to be a majority of men. And I feel like even just to say like that 1 in 5 women have been sexually saucy in their life, that fact alone says a lot about men feeling entitled, you know, because it's, a lot of times you say no, and it's keep pushing because for some reason you feel like you deserve it. Like a lot of men feel like, oh, I took you out, I spent money on you, and now you're not gonna go home with me, like, and then that makes them angry. Like as women, like I'm sure we both have experiences of saying no, and
Or even saying no just to a number. Like, can I get your number? Oh, what? You think you're too pretty for me now? Like you were just complimenting me, trying to get my number. When I tell you no, then you start
oh,
like,
she ugly anyways, like, oh, you're not that cute.
Exactly.
Like that's
like,
entitlement right there.
That's entitlement. That's your ego getting shot. Just accept the no. Thank you for the compliment. Let's move on with our day.
Okay. Now the dating thing, that's interesting.
Yes.
Because from a man's perspective, if a man takes you out on a date and you say yes, he does spend money on you and you know all of that, the expectation is to a certain degree that it's going to get sexual, because what's the point of dating?
But that wasn't communicated though.
Right.
Everybody dates differently.
Oh,
Because if
okay.
we're looking for a relationship, like not every woman is trying to have sex. Like if
Yeah.
you're looking for a relationship, then you think someone's taking you on a date. You think, oh, he wants to get to know me. Oh, he wants to be with me. Like, oh, he wants to.
Exactly.
You know, he wants to. Take,
So let's put it like this.
like it's not all sexual.
An itinerary should be provided.
It has to be communicated. Everything.
Like I'll give you like a contract. Okay, this is gonna happen. We're gonna go here,
So
do.
every girl you take out, you expect sex.
Yeah,
No.
That's entitlement.
Yes.
You're entitled.
but that's a date. That's the purpose of dating.
The purpose of dating is not sex.
It's not. The
That's not-
purpose of dating
What's
is
the purpose of dating?
getting to know a person.
being in a
like,
relationship.
It could be just sexual dating. It's just like you just gotta let
People
them
are
know.
dating differently. Like,
And you can't get mad when someone tells you no, especially when it wasn't communicated.
Do you pay for your own dates?
Huh?
Do you pay for your own dates?
I've been in a relationship for 3 years, but no, if you're taking me out and you're trying to show me you want to be with me, like, cause it's different. But I'm not like
Answer the question though. Do you pay for dates?
in my relationship. Hell no.
Do you pay for dates? That's entitlement.
No, it's offered. I got money.
So if a guy asked you on a date and he didn't pay, would you go on a date with him?
So if he tells me up front, like, oh, I'm taking you out, like, you gotta pay for yourself.
Yeah.
I
But you see where I'm going though. Some women expect to be.
Yes, but I don't expect
That's
it.
entitlement.
But if it's offered, I'm not gonna say no to it. And then I've offered to pay for half of it before, or like let me pay my part, and they tell me no.
But when you feel differently about a guy who makes you pay for a date, you do?
No,
You wouldn't? Really?
Not at all. No.
Okay.
I mean, it's in everything, and then plus, like, I'm a very emotional person, so it's just like, if you consider my feelings and consider like that part of me, then we'll go 10 times.
Yeah.
The relationship will be 10 times better.
Mine's boyfriend did not have money.
Then if you could just pay for a bill, because paying for a bill is easy, but getting to know someone emotionally, consider their feelings, all of that takes time
That's
and
what dating
dedication.
is about. Like, that's just hooking up. Like, if you want,
Oh,
if you want to go hook up with someone, why even take me out? Like, because if I'm just trying to have sex, then we could just go straight to the end result. Like, we don't need to sit there in each other's faces and smile and have dinner, because that, like.
So the moral is communication.
Yes, communication.
Convey what you want. Be upfront about it. Be straight up.
A lot of people have a problem being straight up. Like, I love people that are straight up. Tell me how it is. Tell me what you want. Yeah. And then I'll give you a yes or no answer.
Boom.
I don't want this whole like, oh, is this gonna happen? Is that gonna happen? Like,
Indirect
no.
type of.
Because if you know you're taking a girl out that you don't want anything to do with after this night, like, you know, this is just your fun for a night.
Yeah.
She should definitely know that beforehand, because you don't know if she's on the phone with her friends, like, oh, I really like this guy, like, or like, you know,
There's such a great night.
yeah, like, thinking it's about to be a relationship just for him to be like, oh yeah, like, ghosting,
Okay.
like.
Exactly.
Dang, how did we get to this point? We're supposed to be about
I don't
feet and
know.
mental health. We went to
I
dating.
know.
All right, let's get back to the feet.
Wait, but you know what I think about feet? Like,
What?
in psychology, like, I just noticed how, like, I don't even know, like, what it's called, but I just noticed a shift in, like, the fact that when you just talk about things in an abstract way, like, what if a random guy on a first date wanted to put his feet in your mouth? It's like, I don't know, you know? But then when you sit there and say, like, oh, I like this and I'm in therapy for, I feel like when you have, like, that personal connection with someone that's sitting there for you, like, you have more of that empathy for them and, like, more of that understanding, and you're thinking of, like, in a less judgmental way when there's, like, a face to that thing, you know?
Okay, so you're saying that my approach as far as communicating to you my purpose is helpful? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely think when you just say, like, oh, you want a random guy's mouth on your toes, but it's like, fuck no. But when you're like, oh, like, what if I approach it like this and I do this, this, and this, and it's like, okay, I could understand that more, like, coming from more of a person-to-person hypothetical scenario than an abstract.
Okay, so you say you're like more empathetic towards through communication. Okay.
I'm also a very empathetic person.
All right. Would you be willing to show your feet without the socks on?
No.
No? Why not?
Let me show. She got her toes out. Her
What about you?
She got some cute toes.
What about you?
Wait. You trying to look at my toes? Yes. Don't be looking at my toes. If you don't want me to look at
Focus on me. Focus on me. What about you? Can you show your
No,
feet?
my feet are not painted. They're not cute. I cannot do myself like that.
What's the worst that can happen?
I love myself. Look,
So we can see your toes. You do have cute toes. So you get pedicures, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you do have cute toes. What size shoe are you?
7.
Size 7?
Okay, that's enough. No.
That's enough. So wait a minute. You were self-conscious about these feet.
Yeah.
They used to make fun of you. Okay, I think it was probably most likely jealousy. Because coming from a man, and I've seen a lot of feet. I've been with a lot of feet, and
right? They're nice and pedicure.
they're very nice. Yeah, so if you had a lot of negative comments coming from women, I would
But I don't know if
guess
that
it
sounds
was
weird, but
jealousy. What?
I hold a woman's opinion higher than men.
Really?
Yeah, I love when women compliment me, and I like cringe when men compliment me.
Really? Even though like women are like basically like your competition, and if you're not in a
I don't see
relationship.
them as competition.
Look at us. How can we ever compete with each other?
Yeah, but she don't make fun of her feet, do you?
No.
We're talking about the women who make fun of her.
That's true.
That's very true.
If they're making fun of you, I mean, why would you hold a high opinion of someone who's making fun of you?
No, I'm just saying in general.
In general. Okay. Can we see the soles of your feet? Yeah, they look clean to me. Okay. Pull them all the way out.
This?
Yeah. Can I touch your feet? No? Why can't I touch your feet?
I don't like people touching me.
You don't like being touched?
Not like that, just like
Oh, that's interesting. You just opened up a whole new thing. You don't like being touched?
randomly, no.
Okay. What's the worst that could happen?
You touching me, you're in my personal space.
So in
Yeah,
general.
she's very clear. She's very personal about her
Yes,
space.
I'm very like.
With everybody.
So in general, do you like being touched, or is there like a certain type
yeah,
of?
I like being touched, but when I like to be touched,
Okay.
not when someone else tries to touch me.
So in this situation, this setting,
Yeah, I don't.
you don't want to be touched. Okay, I respect that. Can you put your feet all the way out so I can get the bottoms?
Oh, like
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, like that. Both feet. Okay. Straight. No. Legs straight. You're bending your legs. I want your legs straight. Like, well, is that too difficult?
Like straight?
All right, one leg down,
Oh, yeah.
and then lift your heel all the way up. There you go. There you go.
He's having me do some poses over here.
Yeah.
Carissa.
All right, scratch your toes down like you're making a fist. There you go.
He's like, let me get the
Toes.
shot. Okay, there. I feel uncomfortable. Like I've never.
You feel uncomfortable? Why?
I've never had someone like go into my toes like this. Yeah.
So how you feel right now? It feels uncomfortable. Are you able to cope?
For a little bit, then I'm over it.
What do you mean you're over it?
Like I just don't want my toes.
You just don't want the attention on your feet. Really? But I thought you said that you've gotten to a point where you're like you don't care how people feel. Where's the blockage? What's making you stop?
I just no one has ever gone in on my toes like that before. I've always just like, oh, your toes are pretty, or like.
So it's a new experience.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of you. I say you got pretty feet.
Thank you.
So what's?
Yeah, it's a new experience. Like I've never had my feet videotaped. I've never had someone. Yeah, I do none of that. It's usually my personal thing. Like I'm the one that like looks at my toes, massages my feet. Like I've never had someone go in on my feet.
So why not embrace it? Why are you withdrawing?
It's just I don't know like what I'm used to.
You're used to withdrawing away.
Yeah. Look it, I'm gonna be all over YouTube like this mental. Like this mental case. This is why I need a therapist, and this is why I'm gonna go to therapist.
That's good.
I just gotta find the right therapist.
Right. So, how do you feel about that? As a psychology major, you just witnessed our interaction, and I was getting all up in her feet, and she withdrew. What's your comments about that?
Psychology.
Since you're a psychology, you want to be a therapist one day or what?
I did. I wanted to like work in a school, and then I also wanted to work in a school and be like a counselor, and then I wanted to be a therapist, and now I want to be like a criminal psychologist. So I'm kind of all over the place.
All right. Well,
with my
in this situation, you say you're familiar with DBT, so apply some DBT to this.
yeah, I honestly feel like that's like the point. Like, you know how like when you have to force yourself to change, like how you said you have to force yourself to be in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
I feel like that's that point that we all reach, like when you're like, it just got real. Like now I'm in this uncomfortable situation. I actually have
Like
to push through that block.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Let me. Go
Like
back.
when you're on the
Right.
roller coaster thing, like you get in the line, you get to the front, you
Yeah.
get on, and you're like, let me off this.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, let me off. I feel like it's like that moment, and I don't know, you know, because I feel like on one end, like personal boundaries, like when it comes to your body, like are very much your own, you know, and like.
Yeah, and I feel like when someone touches me, it's like we're exchanging that energy, and it's like I don't want my energy disturbed
Okay.
because I don't know what your energy is. What you're giving to me.
Okay. So you don't think I have good energy?
I'm just people just come off so like I got it together, and you don't know.
That's what's scary. I feel like.
But how do you not? I mean, sorry to cut you off, but how do you not know unless you engage with that person?
Yeah, like I'll engage, but just don't touch me until I'm comfortable with you touching me.
How do you know when you're comfortable?
And every situation is different, but
I feel like that trust is built. Like honestly, it's even specifically as women. Like when it comes to like our safety, like we just have to be 10 times more on it. Just because, like you know, like we've had experiences with so many people that we know have had. Like there's not a woman that doesn't know a woman. Or themselves that have had like a really negative experience, like a really dangerous experience.
Have you had it?
Of course. And
Have you had it?
yeah.
As a woman, it's like it's just the reality. So when you have certain experiences and you hear so many things, there's a wall built up, and you know also like hundreds of years of history, like back.
Eat 10 times more garbage.
Like when
Which
it comes
sucks.
to
It really sucks.
Wasn't that a big reason why you should have a therapist?
Yeah, but it's also still the reality because you can't let your guard down with men really now because this stuff isn't over. Like there's hundreds of thousands of women
And it's-
missing in sex trafficking
And
right
then
now.
some men don't understand it either. They don't.
And the worst ones are the ones with the most charming personalities that reel you in and make you feel like you want to
You're
trust
safe
them.
and you're comfortable, and then
The next thing you know, you're on a boat being trafficked
On a
somewhere,
boat,
and it's like
being trafficked. Wow.
it's the reality.
Yeah, like even us talking about traveling, we just have to be like, oh, but is it safe? Is it this? Is it that? It's just so much like things we have to think about.
There's a lot of fear.
And I hate living in a world where I have to be fearful.
Do you believe in the law of attraction?
Yes. But
You see where I'm going with that?
I see you're saying I'm attracted, but yeah,
That's true.
that is very true.
I think it's hard for you to understand. Like, it's,
Yeah.
it's a
It's
give
hard.
and take.
Really?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Unless you have to live in that experience, because like as a man, like okay, so like I look at my boyfriend and our name is really creepy. I get scared all the time, and he's looking at me like, "Why are you so scared?" He's like, "I can beat this guy's ass," and I'm like, "You don't understand from my perspective. When it comes to any threatening man, I don't have that advantage of being able to be confident that I could be strong enough to get myself out of that situation."
But I mean,
But
to live is risky. I mean, every time I get on my scooter, if I tell me to get on my bike, get on the road, that's a risk. What if I get hit by a car? What if this happens? What if this?
That's what
I do understand,
No,
but I'm saying,
Yeah.
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying you're trying to play devil's advocate, but there's
Yeah.
no devil's advocate with this. Like, it's just, this is the reality that we're living.
I wish it wasn't. It's just dangerous out here for
like
women
you can't be
and
like
men.
you can't just be like, oh, but when I do this, it's a risk. But because you're putting yourself in that position. I didn't put myself in this position to be a woman. I didn't put myself in this position to be who I am. There's just predators out there, and I have to be careful. Like, do you have to look under your car at night to make sure like no one's under there? Do I always have to have a knife on me? Like,
do that?
Have pepper spray?
Yes.
you look under your car.
Yes.
Really?
When I'm from a distance, I make sure, because that's a thing that people do. They go
People
into
get
your car and
kidnapped.
they'll just hit your Achilles,
and then
you're,
once they hit your Achilles, you can't run away because
Hit your Achilles.
you
You talking about you on your leg?
yeah, on your ankle. All they need
Wait,
is
wait, let me get this straight. Hold on, slow down. Slow down. I've never heard this before. So you're afraid of somebody hiding under your car
It's out
with a
there.
knife and cutting your Achilles heel.
I mean, we're not living in fear.
So-
It's the thought that you take
Wait, let me finish. So, because of, you've heard of that, you check under your car to see if anybody's
like
hiding
late
under
at
there.
night if I'm by myself. Yes.
Wow.
Or not even just under, like around too. Like,
like the-
have you ever heard of like people that will put money on your windshield so that you'll be like, oh, $20, go out and get it, and then you're snatched?
What?
Why do you think
Really?
there's hundreds of thousands of women missing
But it-
current day?
But it is not. It's not out there.
Okay, how do you hear these things?
Because most of the women are women of color. That there's so many women of color missing out there.
So you've heard this from
only
people
hear it.
personally?
We always hear it like online, like people talking about it, but also I have heard different
Online?
stories personally. Like my grandma, she was telling me about, because I always used to think growing up, this is ridiculous, until I heard about it happening, where like you shouldn't go into the bathroom by yourself as a young girl, because like there's been many instances of like a man being in there like hiding, like ready to, you know,
Yeah, and then
assault the person.
one of my best friend, her cousin got kidnapped,
Mhm.
and she lives in the same city I do. Like
Okay.
literally like 5 blocks away, and she got kidnapped. So it's just like, it's just so close to home that I just have to always be aware, be protected, make sure I stay safe.
I feel like as a black person, like it's kind of the way I feel about my identity, like as a woman, and like my safety and being so cautious over that is like kind of the same way I feel about like the police. Like when I see one, it's like, what are the odds that they're really gonna do something? But my fear is the same. Like the odds of someone kidnapping me, yeah, it's not that high, but my fear is the same. Just like when I see a cop, my stomach is gonna drop. I'm gonna feel anxious. Like as a black person, that's just my gut response to seeing a white cop that, you know, fits the description of like what you see going on the media so many times. Like it's similar feelings of like, yes, it's not likely, but it's possible. It is terrifying.
Okay. So every time you see a cop, you get afraid.
It's not like a deep fear, but you have like, you know, like in like
You have like a, oh shit.
that's
make sure
even
I'm
like a
not-
psychology thing too.
Yeah.
Like your brain connects it. Like when you see the same description killing your people over and over and over, and like your body just develops that gut reaction of like,
So why do you tune to it? Why do you tune into it?
it's not controllable. Like I'm in therapy for anxiety, so I have anxiety, so that's not really something like
You said it's not controllable?
I mean,
So how do you hear about people getting killed by the cops?
What do you mean? How do I hear about it?
Yeah, how do you know about that?
The media.
Right. So you tune into the media. That's controllable. You can turn it off.
But it's the reality. That's what sucks. Like, hiding from reality doesn't make it less of the reality. Like, the reality is that as a black person, you can get killed for the color of your skin. As a woman, you can easily be kidnapped, raped, trafficked, anything. It's reality. And hiding from it doesn't make it better. Not that I'm living in fear, but your body has that gut instinct.
Yeah, and we just always have to be self-aware. 100% self-aware all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my guard can't be down. It just always has to be.
We keep veering off to
I know. But
all the way. Okay, so let's bring it back again. So I asked you about our interaction, about her withdrawing. I don't know how we went from that to sex trafficking and getting killed by the police. I don't understand how we got over there, but okay.
Literally.
Okay, I know how. Because I asked you, why don't you like to be touched? And you said because you have personal boundaries, because you don't know about the energy, you don't know what I'm about, and everything. So, your comments on that, as far as DBT is concerned. Is that the right approach?
Like, for her, like, or for you? Like, from her perspective?
From a perspective of DBT.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, who's the one that's exposing themselves? You know what I'm saying?
She is.
She is? Okay,
Yeah.
so
She withdrew. And she said the reason why I'm withdrawing is because you feel like there's a threat to your health, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that. I feel like it's mixed, because on one hand, yes, push yourself to do things that you think will help you grow, but also, like, that's like her having her feet out there isn't something that she feels like that's what I need to do in order to reach my next level. So for her to have that boundary, I feel like it's, your body, your choice. Like, if you don't want to be touched, you don't have to be touched by anybody unless you feel like that's something you need to do to grow as an individual,
So the energy thing, you feel like that's a threat to your health?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I feel like
You see, we got crystals out. She got crystals on. We got our singing bowl.
does.
Like, we're very big on energy and manifestation and just like everything like that. So touching is like, just let everybody touch you,
Yeah.
Okay.
Touching, I feel like it's very personal too.
Especially in a pandemic.
Yeah, and then you're getting into someone's like personal space. Like, this is my body. Like, yeah.
Okay.
It's like a privilege.
All right.
A very big privilege.
Okay. So you can't see your feet, right?
No, my feet are not going to. I'm not
And
dogging
Let's
myself
see
like
your
that.
feet.
you're cool off with seeing the feet. You're
Yeah.
cool doing the feet. Okay, so
My boyfriend
let's
watch that video.
wrap it up.
Okay.
So my approach, the interview from beginning to end. What did you think about it? How was the experience?
I feel like it definitely, to an extent, probably pushed us out of our comfort zones.
Because I honestly was gonna say no until she said yes, and then I was like, she already said yes, so
I like
go
doing
with
shit.
it.
Like you said,
Why were you gonna say no?
Because I'm just in my space. I'm doing me.
So you said yes because she said yes? And why did you say yes?
Because it was random and fun. Like, I just like doing shit. Like, I just want to know what you had to say, honestly. Like,
Okay.
I had no reason to say no.
So now that you know what I had to say, now we went through the whole process. Was it pleasant?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not really doing much of anything. Like,
Okay.
I feel like for me, this is like a very casual interaction. I'll probably think about, like, on the way home, like, what did I take from that? Like,
Okay.
Was
there anything that could have been better about it? You have any suggestions, refinements I could make? Was there anything bad about it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I like how you went about it.
Okay.
I like how you didn't tell us from the beginning that you liked feet, because I feel like that probably gave you your most realistic answer.
Wait, you say it again?
Like, in the beginning, how you just said, you were just speaking hypothetically, like, what if a guy wanted to see your feet?
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to give you your most realistic answer versus just being like, oh, I like feet, like, would you let me, like, the way that you made it separate from yourself, like, you made it seem like it was just, like, research you were doing.
Yeah.
I think that got you the most honest.
Because if you came out like that, we'd just be like, oh, he's creepy.
Yeah, like, if you were just like, I like feet, can I record you and talk to you about it, then maybe I would have been like, maybe not.
I see. Okay. All right. What was your mood from 0 to 10 before I came up to you?
My mood was like very good, and then I don't know, once you came, I got anxious. I'm just a very anxious person.
Okay. So 0 being your most calmest and...
Yeah, I was like probably like a 2, 3, and then because I was gonna say no.
Wait, let me restate.
What's the scale?
10 being your most happiest.
Oh, you said 0.
0 being your most saddest. So
Oh, he said calmest was 0.
yeah, let me erase that.
Yeah,
Nix that.
okay.
So
Happiest?
10 being happiest, calmest, and 0 being your most
I feel
saddest.
like I was at a good 8.
You're at an 8.
And then when she came, because I was gonna say no,
Mhm.
she said yes, and it made me very anxious because I wasn't accepting you into my space. She
Right.
was accepting you for both of us.
Okay.
But also respect your boundaries, because you could have said no, you know?
No, I understand that, but I was just like, sure, you said yes, so I'm just gonna do it. I'm
feel
gonna
you.
go with it.
I feel you,
I'ma
but
go
don't
with
feel
the flow.
pressure. Next time, you can just say, like, I don't want to, and I'll say I'll do it on my own, and we don't have to.
There you go.
No, I
Communication.
understand that, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
Friendship
like, no, because
communication.
she's over here like, I'm anxious because she fucking forced me.
I was
Sorry,
anxious
sorry.
at first,
Mhm.
and then once we got into it, I was like, okay, he's,
So you're at an 8, and then you drop to what?
I don't know, like anxious, whatever that is.
Give me a number.
I wasn't sad.
Or 0 being your most anxious.
Probably like
I mean, I keep messing up.
like a 5.
You went from like an 8 to like a 5.
Yeah.
You went to like a 5. Okay.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, like I'm anxious. We're gonna see where this goes, and if I don't like it, I'll just leave.
So where are you at now? What number?
I'm like back
You're
to
back
my
in-
number.
Okay.
We were
Yeah.
like very much just in like a meditative state.
Yeah.
We were talking deeply about like our own lives, our own problems. So we were like already like in a state.
So what number were you at?
Yeah, I feel like I was the same. Like I was happy. Honestly, I'm having a good day.
You having a good day?
Yeah.
So
I was
number?
At, yeah, probably like an 8 or 9 too.
8 or 9? You ever drop?
Honestly, I got worried about her when you were putting the camera on her feet, and I saw
Really?
that she was getting a little bit uncomfortable just because like I am protective of my friends. I just wanted to make sure that she was okay and that it was uncomfortable in a way where it's new, but not to where it's like 911, like bitch, I'm about to die, you know. So that's like the only time that I felt. Cause I don't care, but that's the only time that I felt a little bit like
Okay.
But now I'm back up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for this interview. Any parting words?
Oh, that's my phone.
I don't have any parting words.
That was a parting word?
Thanks for this open conversation.
Yeah.
All right. And
Something random.
Yeah, I never had open conversations with random ass people.
I do. It's fun. It's fun.
yeah, it's very fun. And it's
But
therapeutic.
you get new perspectives, like, and I'll probably never see you again in my life.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, like we took what we took from each other. We
Excellent.
exchanged something.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wait, can I get
Bye-bye.
your YouTube again?
Yeah, scouting sessions.
Scouting session?